smaller projects, it is always, it's all about lying and cheating. In Paths of Hate, yeah, like it's a really simple project because you have two pilots sitting there in cockpits, and all they can do is actually look around. Absolutely 80% of the animation in Paths of Hate was done using procedural noises. So it was everything, even the steering wheel in plane was inside the aircraft was animated without any keys, because why? It was already good with noises. In 3ds Max we have noise controllers, which is a procedural noise applied to the motion or rotation of everything, and we can absolutely put it absolutely everywhere, even to to materials, to lights, to objects, to everything. So in case of Paths of Hate, when sometimes I had like a month and 100 shots to animate, I was doing like three quick clicks to animate my planes, to have them flying. So here I have a plane, not from Paths of Hate, but it will do just fine for the purposes of this quick presentation. It has a simple node in the very middle of it. Not everything is attached to this, so quick fix. Okay, now it is. So no rig at all. And then comes my own scripted tool. It's nothing fancy. It is just a tool that speeds up a little bit my work. It saves me 10 clicks, just in order to not apply the noise modifiers, noise controllers to everything by hand. I just wrote a script that has buttons for it, and that's all the script does. So to animate planes in at least half of Paths of Hate shots, I did something like this, and something like this probably. And it's too much, so simple correction and it flies. I mean, it's that simple. Sometimes it's not necessary to have more. I would not even tune it because it's already satisfying me. I mean, these old airplanes, they were really unstable, so it works pretty fine. And for the propeller, maybe this might be the only one element that I will keyframe actually. So one keyframe and the another. It should be enough because we can always do out of range key, so it will spin for eternity. So we have our plane already animated. So this is basically how I animated like 100 of shots in Paths of Hate. Same went to details like flaps, for example, or ailerons, or whatever the proper name is for this part of the airplane. I would just click Fractal Noise to give it more roughness and limit the effect to one axis, which is in my perfect script. There all axes are X. It's kind of funny. So it's always I have to try if the one I am manipulating is the proper one. And yep, it's the proper one. And as you see, the flaps are moving in a natural way. It was never rigged. It was all made of wood and wires. So it was never fixed to one position. Same would go to. This is something that I actually did in Paths of Hate because after a half of the film, all the planes were damaged, and they get progressively damaged through the film. So there were some parts that were partially torn off from the hull, for example, something like this or this. So what I actually did is I wrote my script in the way that it can apply the noise controllers to selection, giving them randomized seed factor, so it works pretty well with more than just one object selected. I would not restrict it to any single axis. I would do something like this. Probably frequency is too low. Maybe even more. Yep. It just works. So only 2 keys for the propeller, and the rest of it is animated without any influence of the animator. Of course, the camera is another thing. So you can always add your camera even from the view. I wrote few simple scripts. It's really simple. It's like 2 lines of code that it selects my camera or the target. So the best way to have shaking camera is always to apply noise motion to the target and not to the very camera, because if this is a targeted camera, if you apply the position noise to the camera itself, it will be always focused on something distant, which is the target, and it's absolutely impossible to recreate in real life. So it's always a target that shakes, not the camera. So I select my camera target, my beautiful script, noise position for it. I can always apply it a few times just to check if this is what I need. We cannot actually tell if something moves in proper way or not, because we don't have anything in the background. So allow me to add some details to our sky, and this is the magical solution that I used for clouds and paths of hate. Exactly. And now we can play with the camera. Maybe more. That's too much, so maybe without fractal noise. Yep, now it works. Probably we could use some roll motion on the camera, which is a parameter. It's not a rotation for the targeted camera. So I wrote a part of the script that applies noise control to the roll parameter of the camera, and it just rolls it a little bit. Perfect. One of typical, paths of hate shots done in 5 minutes. So it's how it was done.